You're on.
I'm on. Hi and good morning. Welcome to CSL Cultural Coast, the Center for Spiritual Living on the Cultural Coast of Florida. And I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm Teresa Fieberts. And I am thrilled for this morning. This is our second Facebook Live. And as I've learned over my years in Science of Mind, we always have choices, right? We are always in a place of choice, and we are never a victim, and that idea alone empowers us to make good choices and confident choices, and it's not always easy. And we all are experiencing that right now, I think. It's not always easy, but this is my truth, and my choice to choose from that truth, that this is a time of expansion. It's a time of evolution for us personally and obviously globally, right? So are you ready? Are you ready? I believe that we're all being called, right now, and there's change afoot, and we have everything we need to be able to traverse this time beautifully, brilliantly, lovingly, successfully. And last week, one of the ways I know this is that last week we had our first live Facebook Live, and I don't remember how many we had at the time we were rolling, but we've had over 400 views of that thus far. And what I know about that is we couldn't have fit 400 people in the beautiful Sarasota Garden Club that we meet in. And so how fabulous is that? And right now I see people popping up on the computer, right? That's a beautiful thing. And so we didn't know. We had really no way of knowing the numbers and the amount of people that are hungry and ready for the Science of Mind teaching, and that's come out of this crisis, right? So that's what I'm going to invite us to continually do is look deeper within ourselves, and look more closely with a spiritual eye at what we're seeing around us. So this message of peace, love, and Science of Mind is one that we're all ready for. And on both sides of that, we're ready to give it, to learn, to teach it, and we're ready to learn it and absorb it and live it. And so I'm in gratitude. Really, I'm in a place of great gratitude, even in this flux and in the presence of all the unknowns. Every day something's different, and of course I have some emotional swings, but they're not quite as vigorous as they were last week, right? And I'm not afraid to admit that I'm in this with you. We're in this together, and we're all experiencing a sense of fear in that regard, because it is an unknown. But I have tools to quickly replace that. And I want us to all remember that we have that ability. And so I believe this is the moment. This is the moment. I know for myself that this is the moment for me to step into my ministry, step into service in a greater way. And I really, over the last few weeks, have taken that to heart. And I've been very busy figuring out all the ways I get to do that without being in person with other people. And so that's a joy. I believe we're all being called to step up in some way. Mary Manning Morrissey said that God doesn't call the qualified, but qualifies the called. God doesn't call the qualified, but qualifies the called. That's you. That's you, and that's me. And that's now. That's this time right now. So this morning we have a real treat, a qualified local professional, experienced professional. We have Mindy Simmons with us this morning to do our music, and I'm real excited about that. She's a very talented local singer-songwriter, and a dear friend. So let us just begin our time in prayer, recognizing that right here, right now is all we need, that there is only one thing ever happening, and it is the presence of the divine coming into form by means of each one of us. What a brilliant, brilliant idea to embody. So let us know with that brilliance comes creativity and intelligence and unconditional love, abounding wisdom. All of this and more in abundance. It is here for the taking right here and right now. So let us say yes and lean in to all that is. And so it is.
So it is.
All right. Mindy Simmons, welcome to our living room, my dear.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. This song came to me after a discussion with my big brother years ago about free will. In my despair, I cried out to him, "Who is God? Where is God? Is there anything such as a compassionate God? I don't get it." And he had a conversation with me about mankind and free will, and that is probably the most important gift that God, our Creator, gives. And in my thoughts about that, this song came through me. And so when you receive it, consider God's voice speaking to you. Permission granted. There were times in my life when I thought God wasn't there, when I found myself distracted and I fell in deep despair. But as I spiraled into doom and my life filled up with gloom, I heard a voice inside of me as if it meant to set me free. Permission granted, my child. Whatever is your will, permission granted, my child. Your every dream can be fulfilled. I have made you after me, and so you choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. So as I journey through my life, with all its struggle, toil, and strife, when my head is spinning round, can't keep my feet down on the ground, when it feels I can't go on, and all my rights turn into wrongs, I stop and listen attentively to that still voice inside of me. Permission granted, my child. Whatever is your will, permission granted, my child. Your every dream can be fulfilled. I have made you after me, and so you choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. And so I've learned throughout the years that all the smiles and all the tears, all the sad things and the good, happen just the way they should. And as I co-create my life every day and every night with God right here eternally, I find it's all been up to me. Permission granted, my child. Whatever is your will, permission granted, my child. Your every dream can be fulfilled. I have made you after me, so go on, choose your destiny. Permission granted, success guaranteed. I have made you after me, and so you choose your destiny. us guarantee. Amen, amen.
Thank you, Mindy. That was amazing. Thank you. Brother Richard Hendrick, a Capuchin Franciscan living in Ireland, penned this touching poem about the coronavirus pandemic. Brother Richard shared his poem Lockdown on a Facebook post. Yes, there is fear. Yes, there is isolation. Yes, there is panic buying. Yes, there is sickness. Yes, there is even death. But they say that in Wuhan, after so many years of noise, you can hear the birds again. They say that after just a few weeks of quiet, the sky is no longer thick with fumes, but blue and gray and clear. They say that in the streets of Assisi, people are singing to each other across the empty squares, keeping their windows open so that those who are alone may hear the sounds of family around them. They say that a hotel in the west of Ireland is offering free meals and delivering to the housebound. Today, a young woman I know is busy spreading flyers with her number through the neighborhood so that the elders may have someone to call on. Today, churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples are preparing to welcome and shelter the homeless, the sick, the weary. All over the world, people are slowing down and reflecting. All over the world, people are looking at their neighbors in a new way. All over the world, people are waking up to a new reality, to how big we really are, to how little control we really have, to what really matters. Love. So we pray and remember that, yes, there is fear, but there does not have to be hate. Yes, there is isolation, but there does not have to be loneliness. Yes, there is panic buying, but there does not have to be meanness. Yes, there is sickness, but there does not have to be disease of the soul. Yes, there is even death, but there can always be a rebirth of love. Wake to the choices you make as to how to live now. Today, breathe. Listen. Behind the factory noises of your panic, the birds are singing again. The sky is clearing. Spring is coming. And we are always encompassed by love. Open the windows of your soul, and though you may not be able to touch across the empty square, sing.
We are sisters, we are brothers, we are fathers, and we are mothers, and we all can work together to make peace throughout the land. When the heavens roll with thunder, and we all cry out for shelter, reach out to each other, every woman, child, and man, 'cause we are sisters, we are brothers, we are fathers, and we are mothers, set us free our hearts from anger, and then fear will pose no danger as we're walking hand in hand, 'cause we are sisters and we are brothers, we are fathers and we are mothers, and we all can work together to make peace throughout the land. We are people from different cultures, putting trust in one another, working side by side together. We can do this, yes we can, 'cause we are sisters, we are brothers, we are fathers, and we are mothers, and we all can work together to make peace throughout the land. Let us all work together to bring peace throughout the land.
Yes.
And that's the whole world. Man, we're feeling a love fest in here. Can you feel that too? I hope so.
Yes, yes.
And I'm just looking at all the people popping online with us, and it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see everybody. Wow. I'm verklempt. I'm verklempt. You know, so as I said a minute ago, last week maybe we were flying on that spectrum between fear and love a little more rapidly, you know, and maybe we've calmed down a bit this week. I pray that we have. And as I said, I believe that there is an opportunity in here for all of us. And I had these ideas this week floating around in my head of invincibility or vulnerability. Invincibility or vulnerability. And understanding our perspectives on those two ideas. And really what I mean by that is what's motivating us to have those attitudes, whichever they may be. And of course the idea, I mean, I say of course, the idea came to me because of all the spring breakers here in Florida. And, you know, my adult children live in other states now, quite far from Florida, as a matter of fact. And they said that Florida and our spring breakers are in national news a lot. And it's not flattering, necessarily, what's being said. That there's some pretty harsh words about Florida out there right now. Some negativity. But it's not just the spring breakers. I mean, there's other stars and prominent leaders even that have been rather slow to adjust behaviors. Let's say that. And so I'm just wondering about people's motivations, about what are the beliefs behind those kinds of behaviors. And certainly for teens, I think we get it, right? Risky behavior and being a teenager kind of goes hand in hand. I laughed and told Bobby that if you looked up the definition of invincibility, you'd see my picture when I was 18 years old. There I was. What we're doing as a teen, and many of us are still trying to do it, is learn to balance between taking chances and being safe, right? Taking chances and being safe, or the difference between what's really risky and what's dangerous. going out on the skinny branches, I like to say, when I talk about things that for some people seem like it's political, and for a minister to talk about them, that's me being out on the skinny branches, right? But it's not dangerous. So we try to traverse what is being our authentic, bold, brave selves out there in the world, and what truly is dangerous. So I think that those are some of the things. Truly, what becomes newsworthy about what the kids have been doing, possibly, and I don't want to point fingers. I really don't want to sound that way. But what becomes newsworthy of the frivolity going on in Florida, if you will, is the idea that they're not thinking, or some of us are not thinking beyond ourselves. And the consequences to others, that when they get on the airplanes and they fly to their respective states, that they may be carrying germs with them. And what, again, motivates that kind of invincibility? It's a big question, really. And metaphysically, what I think is invincibility comes from an awareness of our divinity. Yes? Yeah? Because if we truly recognize that we're one with the divine, that we're one with all that is, that we came here from the unknown and we go back into the unknown, into that great mystery, right? Then we truly all are invincible. Are we not? We are. And that brings us, I think, to a more interesting conversation, right? A more, than the kids partying. So we're all experiencing this time of quarantine or social distancing. Last week we talked about it being a timeout, a global timeout. And for some, though, it's not like I get to clean out the closet, or finally now I get to do that project that I've always been wanting to do, or I'm going to paint the bedroom. I'm telling you what, Bobby and I have been on it. I mean, we are really working at learning. There's rapid growth and rapid activity going on. For us, there's this sharp, steep learning curve, I think, of technology, of learning how to do what we're doing. But either way, whether you're at home with projects before you or at home with work projects before you, stillness, going to that place within and making that a regular part of our day to find our guidance and our lead is a wise thing to do. Ernest Holmes said, "When you become confused, stop and listen to your inner calm. Turn from the confusion to the deeper something within, and then say to yourself, I am submerged in peace. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There is nothing but peace, peace, deep, calm, undisturbed." And then sit with that, and listen to what comes up for you. I find my peace in this way every morning in my morning spiritual practice. And part of my morning spiritual practice is the Science Mind magazine. Little commercial, little Van White commercial here. Yesterday and today's readings were so spot on. It is almost impossible to imagine that she wrote these not yesterday and today. I mean, she had to have written them at least a month ago, probably 2, 3, 4, 6 months ago. These were written. It's simply really amazing. And so they're written by Reverend Joanne McFadden, who is in New York State, and she's a second-generation Science Mind minister. And so yesterday she calls Change is Afoot. Change is afoot. And she talks about shift is happening. yet it is slow. Ooh, not so much today, is it? I mean, at every moment, our news looks different. Yesterday, I turned on the news and we had 200 new cases of coronavirus in Florida. So, no, it's happening fast. Change is afoot, and it is happening fast. But here's some cool things. There's an uptick in companies doing business, and she talks about it in here. She's talking about companies doing business for the whole, not just for business shareholders. She talks about business as a force for good, balancing purpose with profit. And there's an opportunity for us right now, isn't there, in that? And we're seeing it. So Bobby and I are forced to learn some new stuff, which is an expansion. It's an expansion of what we're able to do with this ministry. I mean, it's really very exciting. I saw on here a minute ago that one of my cousins from Virginia is listening in. I mean, just how cool is that, right? So restaurants are learning new ways and new things to do. My soon-to-be son-in-law has moved. My daughter and he have moved. And it's a new venture, a new restaurant, brewery venture, and he's opening the kitchen. And they had to halt production at this point. I mean, they had not opened the doors yet. But what rushes in, because they have a product to sell, they've already made the beer, right? What rushes in to support that is creativity, is wisdom and intelligence. I mean, the creativity that I'm seeing swirling around all of us is truly magnificent. And it serves to help us with win-win. I mean, they've got some great ideas that they're going to put forth now. And so Reverend Joanne, again, in The Science of Mind, she's got this quote here that says, people are realizing that there are ways of being in the world that benefit the whole, rather than solely the individual, and they are operating that way. Each of us can take part in this shift by living our own lives in a way that shows care and love for our fellow human beings, our fellow beings of spirit and the earth. With each of us contributing, we can change the race consciousness of the world. That's the mass consciousness, the collective consciousness, as Carl Jung would have said. From one of competition to one of cooperation. How about that? Contribution and cooperation. And we're seeing it all over in the news right now, right? Jameson Whiskey is making hand sanitizer. I mean, it's just amazing. Local breweries, Siesta Key Rum, are making hand sanitizers. And I read this morning that a citizen donated 1,000 bottles to Cannon Distillery here in town to put their hand sanitizer in. And I read that Drum Circle Distillery on Siesta Key, which is the maker of the Siesta Key Rum, is also doing that. That they've been receiving information and materials from the World Health Organization, and they're planning on distributing free individual and industrial sized bottles so that they can provide to local hospitals and nursing homes and other organizations. I mean, isn't that awesome? Isn't that so cool? And worldwide, we're seeing car manufacturers stepping up, talking about manufacturing ventilators. And now I know there's some concern whether they really have the ability to do that. Again, it's a huge learning curve. But what I really want to express here and have you hear is that creativity and that intelligence is right here available. You know, who was it? Was it Einstein that said it's all floating around and if you don't grab it, I will? Edison, thank you. Edison. You know, I mean, it's amazing. So, it's endless, and we can be those open portals, and to me that's just very exciting. So, what would be the motivation for being in service in that way? If it's our interconnectivity, if it's recognizing that there's only one, if it's recognizing that we're talking about not survival of the fittest anymore, but we're talking about survival of the collective, right? that we're all in this together. Bobby and I just finished watching a documentary or a movie on Darwin, so sorry. Sorry, Darwin. But I think it's the survival of the collective. And that's where we are right now. That's where we are today. So, on today's reading, she titled it Wired to Help. That we're wired to help. And she says, humanity is great indeed, and we are wired to help and nurture one another. It is, most times, I imagine, an unconscious acknowledgement of our oneness. Those who reach out to help strangers are living out the oneness that is part of the spiritual DNA. Furthermore, people feel good about helping each other. I believe that the helper gets more out of the help than the one being helped. I agree with that too. It's win-win though. Grace is defined as the giving of spirit to its creation, and when we help each other, we live in grace. Good stuff. Let me just say real quick, we have a few of March issues left, and we have April issues left, and we'll find a way to get them to your door if you're locally. And if you're not locally, let me know in the chat or email me on Facebook or through, however, get in touch with us, and I'll send you the link to be able to get this information online or have it mailed to you, either way. There's so much support out here like that. Like, let us get this to you. We've had so much support from our home office, the Global Centers for Spiritual Living, and this past week I sent out 10 free mandala coloring pages out of a mandala coloring book. And if you didn't see those, let me know if you want them. The author of the coloring book and the Centers for Spiritual Living are sending out these 10 for people to have something to do at home that is spiritually constructive, right? And Bobby and I have been taking free classes that are being offered all over the place for this technology. And our local CSL, we had, I think I mentioned it last week, that Julie Birch started a meditation group online. It started Thursday night. Anybody can jump in on that. We'll get you that information.
Every Thursday.
And every Thursday night. And the practitioners and myself are starting a prayer circle on Tuesday nights. This will be online, on Zoom. Anybody can come in. And our leadership is really stepping up in a big way. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to see the desire for us. We have people that are at the ready if you need food and you need it delivered to your home. We just need to know. And so we've started calling people, and we're here. And sometimes, those are the skinny branches that we go out on sometimes. Bobby this week posted something on Facebook as a licensed religious science practitioner. He's not done that before. And he's been licensed for a year now almost. And so it's a big step. But the call to be love and to share inspiration with other people who may need it at the moment is strong, and it's fluid. And it's endless and eternal and infinite in its source, yes? So, we can all be of service. We can all be that place. Last week I talked about having both feet firmly planted, that we have a foot firmly planted in our human condition, in our human reality and experience, and we have the other foot firmly planted in spirituality. So we pray and we act and we choose from that place, right? And we ask what is ours to do, and we listen from that place of seeing where the needs are and knowing that we're led to what is ours to do. And in this way, we are both invincible and vulnerable. Yes? We're both invincible and vulnerable. I believe that we can be both. So I watched last night this awesome podcast by, I read it, by Brene Brown. And many of you know who she is, researcher. She's fabulous work. And she's got this thing called FFTs, Now, these podcasts, FFTs, effing first times. Isn't that great? Effing first times. So we're all faced with all these effing first times. Oh my God, I've never done this before. This is my second time doing this, so I'm a pro now, right? But, so she talks about, it's all about FFTs, or effing first times, and how hard it is to be new at things. It's uncomfortable, right? She says from small things to global pandemics. And so when we have no relevant experience or expertise, the vulnerability, the uncertainty, and the fear of these first can be overwhelming for us. Yes, I know. Yet, showing up and pushing ourselves past that awkward learner stage is how we get braver. Yes. Pushing ourselves through that awkward learner stage. Think about this. My children, I just said, are adults, and my son has children of his own with a third on the way. Schools have closed. There's online teaching now. Teachers are scrambling to learn how to do online teachers. Students are having to figure out how they're going to be set up at home with computers. Some of them don't even have computers. Other people are rushing in to gift them computers. I mean, amazing stuff are happening. But if you have already raised your children, think about what it would be like right now to have your children at home with nothing to do. Holy cow. The idea of cabin fever with no end in sight gives me, makes my palms sweat, right? And think about boredom. So Brene Brown's talking about this, and she says we have to stop the constant stimulation of the screen, having them sitting in front of TV screens and computer screens all the time. That we have to stop that and allow them to be bored. Listen to this. Listen to this. She said, boredom is sacred. Boredom is sacred. And we shouldn't deny our children this holy experience. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. And I think it's wisdom for us too. Our boredom right now, which is something I know nothing about, boredom, but if you're feeling bored, it's a sacred opportunity. It's a sacred time for you. So yes, I absolutely believe we can find gratitude for the change afoot, even when it's coming quickly, even when it's coming from the outside and it feels forced upon us. Even then, and especially then, we can be gentle with ourselves and with others as we learn and we lean into new ways of being, because there is immense love and support as our foundation, the very foundation of this life that we live. Because it is the life that lives through us, and it is creativity, and it is love, and it is intelligence, and it is that through us in absolute abundance. So I believe that we can commit now, and I encourage us to commit now to lead in that way, to hear the call, to step out, whether it feels awkward or not. Because I really do believe that we are being called. We are being called, and we are up to the task. We are up to the task. Not only because in our truth and our divinity we are invincible, but because in our vulnerability we are brave, and we are authentic, and we are true, and we are one. And that is what I know for you. All right. Miss Mindy's got another one for us. So I'm so looking forward to this. This one's actually a surprise to me. I left it blank. I don't even know what she's going to say. So let's just see. Thank you.
So it never ever ceases to amaze me how I am called to do music at all of the sacred services that I serve with my music, how the divine gives me the music. Mm-hmm. If I sit in quiet and just let it come to me. This is a song that came through me. I did not write this. It came through me when I had made a brave and scary decision to stop singing in bars and nightclubs. Didn't know how I was going to make a living. And just with what Teresa was talking about, going out on the thin branch, this was my thin branch, deciding that I was going to quit singing in bars. Had no idea how I was going to pay my mortgage, buy food, had no idea. The word chela in this song is, I think it's either a Hindu word or a Sanskrit word that means devotee or beloved. And this song is called God's Plea, and it came through me, to me, and I hope you receive it as such too. I'm taking my time with you, but I ain't gonna pine for you, and I won't walk blind for you, 'cause I've got my eyes open. But Chela, I'm gonna wait for you, 'cause you're the one that I live my dreams through, and it's gonna be good for you to stop running and listen. Stop running and listen. Stop running and listen. Stop running and listen. Come on, listen to your heart. Stop running and listen. Stop running and listen. Stop running and listen. Come on, listen to your heart. Are you happy with the rhythm and motion? Swimming or drowning in the ocean? Or fractions of your life is just a notion you ought to be aware of? Are you okay with your peace of mind? Do you feel you're running out of time? Playing catch up with duties and the deadlines, shorter by the hour. Come on, don't lose your faith in me. You just look inside yourself and see I can help you with the strength to be everything you've ever dreamed of. Don't look to anybody else but me, 'cause I'm the one who's here to set you free. Just remember you are meant to be with me. Don't give up on the vision. 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 Keep the vision in your heart. Don't give up on the vision. Don't give up on the vision. Don't give up on the vision. Keep the vision in your heart. Come on, darling, now don't give up. Please don't lose faith. Keep turning your eyes toward me. You'll be finding me deep inside your heart. Darling, don't give up. Please don't lose faith. Keep turning your eyes toward me. Chela, I need you here to do your part. Keep turning your eyes toward me. Chela, I need you here to do your part. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you. It's going to be hard to believe that I didn't plan that after you hear what I have next. What was your last line?
Chela, I need you here to do your part.
I need you here to do your part. It's now our time of offering. We do need your support with this ministry. Last week we did get support, and it was fabulous to see. We have a PayPal link posted on the Facebook page. It's also on our emails that go out weekly. It's also on our website. Our address is going to be posted right here, right now, so you could send a check if you prefer to do it that way. And in the coming weeks, we will have more opportunities to text to pay and stuff like that. I didn't get it set up this week. But we do appreciate your love. We appreciate you being here. I just read through many of the comments, and I love how people have a question and somebody else rushes in with the answer, and links to things, how you can find the Science Mind magazine and the coloring book pages and Brene Brown's work. And I mean, it's so fabulous to see this connectivity. Yes? I mean, it's just so heartwarming. It's really fabulous. And let me just say, what I know is that we truly are all immersed in the abundance of the universe. As I said earlier, all love, all wisdom, all creativity, everything we need is here for us. And let us not forget financial resources. I recognize that many people at this time have lost their jobs, have been indefinitely put on hold. What I know is that the love of God never ceases. What I know is that the flow of prosperity, health, wealth, it flows. It's seamless. And so I deny any obstacle that would be an erroneous thought, an old way of believing or behavior that would block our good, because God is good and it is everywhere available right here, right now. And I know that for everyone in this room. I know that for everyone within the sound of my voice. I know that for everyone everywhere. That Spirit itself is our resource. And that when there is a need, the universe abhors a vacuum. And that the resources rush in. Whether it be a call from a friend, a check in the mail, help, resources are available now. Let us just all keep that in our conscious thought, knowing that we are one with the flow of the entire universe. And we reap that benefit right here, right now. I know this to be our truth. Additional ways to connect. I've already mentioned our prayer circle on Tuesday nights, our meditation on Thursday nights. I believe we're going to have classes coming up soon, and we will be here next week on Sunday at 11 o'clock. Check out our YouTube channel for old, previous, either last week's video or audios from the week before that, because last week truly was the first time we videoed. And with that, I'm going to turn it over. Oh, I saw on here somebody asked if I would share that Father Hendricks poem that Bobby read so beautifully. And yes, we will. I will post that on Facebook, and I will also put it out on our email coming out next week. And with that, thank you again for being here. And my beloved, Bobby Fieberts.
Let me ask you, Tracy. We talked about staying online for a little while,
Oh, yeah.
just to interact with people. So after my song, what we're doing today is going to be over. But Teresa will be staying on the camera for a while to interact with you, to respond to some of your comments. So stay with us if you want to do that. And if you need or would like prayer support, the email button. Use the email button on the Facebook page, and Elaine and Tom and I are available to pray. And if you get us a prayer request any way you can, if you want just prayer support, or if you would like a call or a online visit or something like that, we are available, and that is what we do. So here's the song. Everybody sing along, dance along. There's a light in the center of everyone. It can light up the world, just like the sun. There's a flame within us that can light our way. light shine. Let it shine, let it shine.
Let your light shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let your light shine.
One more time.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let your light shine. 6 feet away.
Oh, that's right.